Hi, my name's Mark. I'm one of the pastors here at Trillium. One of the great things about Hillary Clinton running for president is that I've got a really good joke with Bill Clinton in it, and he's back in the news again, so I can use it. Mind you, it's probably 15 years old. It's a little out of date, but it goes like this. It's the final judgment, and God's sitting on his throne, and behind God is the white shining city of the New Jerusalem of heaven. And standing in front of God are three people: Bill Clinton, Chretien, the former Prime Minister of Canada, and Bill Gates, founder and former CEO of Microsoft Corporation. And God looks to Bill Clinton and says, "Bill, tell me, what do you believe?" And Bill Clinton responds, I believe in saying you're sorry. I believe in mercy and forgiveness. That's what I believe." And God says to Bill Clinton, "Very good, Bill. Come, enter into my kingdom." And God turns to Chretien and says, "And John, what do you believe?" And Chretien responds, "I believe in being loyal. I believe in doing one's duty. I believe in doing the hard things in life. That's what I believe." And God says to Chretien, "Very good, John. Enter into my kingdom." And then God turns to Bill Gates and says, "And Bill, what do you believe?" And Bill Gates responds, looking directly at God, "Sir, I believe you're sitting in my seat." I told the joke 15 years ago in church, got a great laugh. I told it last Sunday, it didn't get quite a big laugh. I think I should have replaced Bill Gates with Donald Trump. Although Donald Trump's response might have been a little more aggressive. He might have said something like, "Get the hell out of my seat. You see that seat there? That's my seat. I paid for it. In fact, I'm going to build a wall around that seat. It's going to be the perfect wall, amazing wall." You know, the troubling thing for most people to accept is that there's a Donald Trump in all of us. We're all kind of like Donald Trump. And we're all aggressively trying to sit on the seat of God in our lives. And the scriptures say that that's the source of rivalry with God. It goes right back to the story of Adam and Eve, when Adam and Eve tried to sit on the throne of God in their life. And it cascades out, it spills over into our relationships with each other. Rivalry with God becomes rivalry with our neighbor, and it has these cascading consequences in the world. And in fact, the rivalry game has infiltrated all elements of life. And it sort of infiltrates every relationship and every circumstance. And we see it playing out in big scenarios. We see it out in small scenarios. I came across a book recently called The Family War: Winning the Inheritance Battle. And it's written by the estate lawyers who describe the conflicts that can come out of inheritance and wills. And it's a terrible kind of calamity that falls upon people. And poorly written wills or on carefully crafted circumstances in a person's inheritance can lead to rivalry between siblings. And they give all these scenarios at the very beginning of the book that give an indication of whether you're at risk in the rivalry game with your siblings. Here's one of the scenarios. When you and your siblings gather together at your mom's house, everyone always admires that expensive painting in the living room. Mom does not want to make any specific provisions in her will covering this painting. She believes that all her children will work it out. How will you feel if the painting ends up hanging on your sister's wall? How will you feel if it ends up hanging on your sister's wall? And right embedded in that scenario is the possibility of rivalry. See, when we share a common goal or object, we automatically enter into the rivalry game with each other, and it can escalate into conflict, legal conflict, sometimes verbal, even physical conflict. It can spill over into violence between people. And we see how that gets played out all around the world in big scenarios and small ones. And it has huge consequences for our life with one another. And Jesus comes on the scene, sent by God, we believe in the church, in our Christian faith, to bring an end to the rivalry game with God and the rivalry game with our neighbor. And he brings with him the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven is the expression of perfect love with one another. You know, in Jesus' first go-around, he fails to get the word out in a way that sufficiently changes people. And he ends up becoming a scapegoat himself, crucified, suffering the snobbery and the violence of the community he came to save. But as followers of Jesus, we're given the opportunity to do something a bit different in the world and in our own lives. You know, there's going to be scenarios popping up in your life where the rivalry game will want to reassert itself, a flare of hostility, a moment of rivalry with your neighbor, whoever that neighbor is. I invite you to peer underneath the surface of the event in your life. Look for the rivalry moment. And when you find it there, be quiet with it. Maybe even allow love to surface and sit on the throne of your heart and see what comes next.